Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, I'm Nara. Today we are going to show our presentation about drama therapy. And first, my name is Oki Muhammad Nugraha.
My name is Muhammad Fauzan Rafaik Radam.
My name is Anastasius Wilarubung.
And now we go next to the definition of drama therapy.
Okay, so as we look in the slide, drama therapy is a practice in verbal and non-verbal expression, utilizing the power of storytelling and management. Through this creative approach, individuals can step outside their usual thinking and behavior patterns, gaining new perspective and insight into their personal challenges. Okay, and the next slide is we can see two pictures in this slide. The first one is Dr. Jacob Moreno and Peter Slade. So the term of drama therapy is using first by Peter Slade, and Dr. Jacob Moreno in early 20th century. He he made psychodrama to help people in know their self and express their self through role play, something like that. And we know that before World War II, drama therapy is, let's say that, unknown by a lot of people, but when World War II ends and people around the world have something like trauma and mental issues, so the the need of drama therapy is increased, and that's make people need a treatment to help their mental issue. That's why we see that in that period there are some books published in that period, something like Richard Courtney played drama through thought and remedial drama by Sue Jennings. And then there is an association, the British Association of Drama Therapists, established, and this is the first significant step where drama therapies become and what we call as used as a job and as professionalities. Okay.
And we come to the theories. So there are a couple theories that back up drama therapy. First is from Robert G. Landy, role theory. He suggests that every individuals consists of multiple roles. So, for example, if a client uh, may have a typical leader personality, but actually in their unconscious body, he may have a role, such as, for example, a caregiver, or maybe a mediator, or maybe a peacemaker. And such roles can be dominant, or maybe underdeveloped, or in conflict. So everybody have roles that are dominant. So, for example, if a president uh, have a role that we can define as a leader, but unconsciously there are sets of roles that are underdeveloped. And with this drama therapy actually wants to invoke these roles into their clients. Next, please. And there's another theory by Landy. It's called distancing. So it's basically a balancing between immersion and reflection. So if someone or a client to immerse on their reenactment of a character, they might become overwhelmed. And also, if they are too distant, or they are disengaged from their character, they become like maybe like a flat character. So I think distancing meaning is more of a, you have to balance between the your immersion into the character, and you are also not too immersed into the character. Next slide. As Anas said before, there are a couple of figures that are prominent in drama therapy. One of it is Moreno, and he found psychodrama therapy. So he suggests that healing requires spontaneity and roles as central to personality, and the encounter in drama therapy means a genuine presence with the other. So, for example, if in a group session of a clients, if a clients reenact a mourning mother, the other clients might resonate with their character. I think that's what they mean by the encounter. And then there are also a catharsis of integration. Catharsis means if someone let out their emotions, it could be anger, it could be sadness, they have to also follow it with a knowledge. So the person is not only uh, reenact their emotion, but they also know what they actually feel. Next, please. And there are a couple of because it's drama therapy, and drama therapy relates to psychology. There, of course, there are a relationship between drama therapy and the field of psychology. So, for example, there are two couple of figures that are prominent in psychology. First is Freud. Freud introduced the idea of the unconscious and defense mechanisms like projection and repression. And also it allows clients to project these hidden parts of themselves onto characters or scenes. While Jung's, who he basically invent archetypes and also collective conscious, which are highly relevant in drama therapy. So, for example, clients often gravitate towards universal character types. It could be the mother, the villain, the hero, and these symbols carry how do you say complex feelings. Next. So, in the drama therapy, there are usually three structures. First is warm up. So it is act that consists of to engaging body and imagination before doing the act. And the second is action phase. It is where the enactment goes, such as role play, scenes, storytelling, etc. And the last is closure, which is mostly consists of to reflecting and grounding their performances. Next. And in psychodramatic lenses, and also from Moreno, there are four techniques of drama therapy. First is role reversal. It means stepping into another shoes. So it means like, for example, a client will play a character from their relatives, for example, parents. So he himself stepping into another shoes, which is their relatives. It could be parents, friends, wife, and etc. And the second is the double. It is speaking the client's unspoken thoughts. So the double basically, for example, um, there are two clients. For example, me as the client one, and the other is client two. Client two will play my character so that I could in watch myself played by another character. There are also mirror technique. It is a watching oneself portrayed by another. And there are also autobiographical performance, which is ourselves will play our story and will with a little bit of dramatization. Next. And there are projective techniques. It is basically a symbol to choose when we are doing the drama therapy. In this case, we can utilize a mask, puppets, and props, which mean properties. And there are also photography, which means it could also be photos or videos, and then through oral, which is storytelling and drama. Next.
Now we're moving to the essential or benefits of drama therapy. Drama therapy actually have focus on the three aspect of human, which is the first is psychological of human psychology, social aspect, and cognitive aspect. First, psychological. As we know, psychological is related to the person's mental, the person's perspective on something. It's related to the stress, trauma, behavior, and the benefits towards psychological aspect, which is first reduce stress and trauma, second assist in emotional regulation, and then strengthen self-identity. And for the social aspect, as we know, it is related to the connection or relationship of a human, between human and community or society. So the benefits is, it's enhancing empathy and cooperation between human and community or society. Also enhancing better communication, also build confidence. And for the cognitive aspect, as we know, the cognitive is related to the person's way of thinking, alternation from thinking to orally speaking or something related to it. The benefits is actually cultivating imagination, facilitate symbolic thinking, and helps memory processing and reflection. And now I will give a little bit of example how drama therapy implemented to the sort of types of people. For example, kids with autism. Drama therapy, we hope that drama therapy could improve their way of expression in social interaction. So, as we know that kids with autism sometimes have difficulty to express their words, their way of thinking toward, as we call normal society. So, this is actually related to the cognitive and the social aspect. And now people with PTSD, for example, people who experience traumatic event like a war, like a veteran of army, and then people who sexual assault or sexual abuse or bullying, something like that, the victim of the bullying. So drama therapy, we hope that drama therapy actually processing trauma symbolically and slowly. As we know that people who have trauma and stress sometimes have difficulty to symbolize their stress, their trauma, and sometimes could lead the people into a state of stress. In Indonesia we call it ODGJ, because those who are called ODGJ could not find anything or something or someone to tell how stressed they are, how traumatic event happened to them. So this is actually enhance their way to symbolize their trauma. So for example, using narrative technique, as we know, or using props like writing session, and then the traumatic event read by other people, which is in technique of mirror. Yes. And now another example is teenager with behavior problem. For example, anak-anak yang nakal, bully, and ada anak-anak yang mungkin susah dibilangin. Sometimes, as we know, people or kids, teenagers like this, have a little bit of empathy. So, drama therapy hope that they could build reflection and empathy towards society or toward people their age. This is related to the social aspect of human. And then patient with cancer, sometimes patient with cancer have low esteem, have low confidence, and drama therapy here expected to be facility to them to share or to express their inner reconciliation and spiritual expression. And after this implementation, we will present a little bit of drama therapy, how it looks like through YouTube videos, but unfortunately we cannot show it here directly, but later we will show it in the class, or we will give a separate link to the WhatsApp group. So this is a drama therapy videos, interesting, from actually a victim or people in Gaza or in Palestine who are facing several problems. For example, one of person here, Rami, actually have problem with speaking ability. In Indonesia, we call it gagap. Their inability to speak is actually caused by how their parents, for example, specifically his dad, that always give abusive action towards this person called Rami, because the situation of the economical country situation, political situation that uh, the father actually cannot access food, cannot access good life condition, and Rami here always asks the person, the father, that father, that I'm hungry, I need to eat. But the father in other position, he cannot bring food to the table, and as a desperation, Rami here has become the penyaluran amarah karena ketidakstabilan negara Palestina saat itu. So here the video will show how Rami will encounter their fear, their anger through drama therapy, which is a autobiography drama.
Yes.
Yeah, how he actually want to speak. And then the last, we are going to the conclusion.
Okay, so from this presentation, we can see that drama therapy, it's more than a performance, but an expression, a path to healing people. But in this era, we see that there are a lot of development in the drama therapy. So something like, we know that the using of technology, virtual reality, or something like that in improving the performance or the healing process in drama therapy. So drama therapy, it's a practice, and it's a way to people to express their feeling, to express their thought, and by drama therapy, people can fix their mental issue. Thank you.
All right, that is the conclusion from our presentation. Now we are going to the article session, preview article, which is where we actually provided 6 articles related to drama therapy.
Alright, now we are going to the first article entitled Drama Therapy Counseling as Mental Health Care of College Students by some of Taiwanese students, university, named Wenlong Chang, Yu Xiuan Liu, Cheng Fuyang. And the year of publication is in 2019, published by International Journal of Environmental Research and Public Health. And the background of this study actually is all about a response of the growing concern about student mental health in Taiwan, particularly after high-profile violent incidents on campus. Universities are under pressure to increase the effectiveness of mental health services. The authors propose drama therapy as a creative and therapeutic intervention aimed at high-risk students defined as those experiencing major trauma, maladjustment, behavior deviation, or disciplinary violation. And the method used is quantitative research, where the use of questionnaire used in this research. For example, they used a rating scale to measure 6 mental health indicators on a 100-point scale. And the data collection in this research using 3 main instruments. First, structured questionnaires, participant self-assessments, and participant attitude assessment. These tools were specifically designed by drama therapy scholars to evaluate 6 key mental health indicators. First, self-awareness. Second, self-expression, interpersonal and communication skill, self-cognitive risk construction, social role ability, and decision-making ability. Each indicator was rated on a 100-point scale. As I said, the assessments were conducted twice, once before the intervention, or we call it pre-test, and once after the final session, or we call it post-test, in order to measure the change experienced by the participant throughout the drama therapy program. And the data analysis used in this research were using several statistical techniques, for example, pre-sample t-test, and to compare pre-test and post-test score within participants, revealing overall change due to intervention. And Additionally, two-way repeated measure ANOVA was applied to examine interaction effects between gender of symptoms categories and the 6 evaluated mental health indicators. And the finding of this research actually, in conclusion, that participants showed notable improvement in self-awareness, self-expression, interpersonal and communication skill, self-cognitive reconstruction ability, social role ability, and decision-making ability, with all changes being significantly at the point of less than 0.01 level. And then we're going to the article number 2, entitled Effects on Drama Therapy on Depressive Symptoms, Attention, and Quality of Life in Patients with Dementia. Year of publication is in 2022, published by the Journal of Nursing Research, and this research were conducted by some of people still in Taiwanese University, Li Weilin, Yu Shenlu, Taixi Zhang, Xu Huiye. And the background of the study was motivated by the rising prevalence of dementia in Taiwan, which has posed significant challenges for caregiving and emotional burden on families and caretakers. Non-pharmacological approaches such as drama therapy have become increasingly important as alternative strategies to improve the quality of life for people with dementia. Although several international studies have examined the effectiveness of drama therapy, there is a clear lack of related research conducted in Taiwan, and there's a gap in the study, which is the way that this study only the phenomenon of dementia only using drama therapy, routine care, leaving unanswered whether drama therapy is more effective than other non-pharmacological interventions such as music therapy, reminiscence therapy, or another therapy. The methods used in this research were quantitative, a two-group pre-test, mid-test, and post-test experimental design. The data collection in this research were collected through a pre-test, mid-test, post-test design at 3 different time points. First, before the intervention, during the 9th week of research, and after 12th week. The researchers used 3 validated observational instruments to gather data. First, the Cornell Scale for Depression in Dementia, or CSDD, to assess depressive symptoms, and then the Attention Questionnaire Scale to measure attention levels. Also, the Quality of Life in Late-Stage Dementia, or we call it QUALIT scale, to evaluate participants' quality of life. And the data analysis were using the Generalized Estimating Equation, or GE method, which is appropriate for repeated measure and longitudinal data. And in conclusion of the finding is this study indicated that drama therapy had a significant positive impact on elderly patients with dementia, specifically reduced depressive symptoms after 8 and 12 weeks. Also improved the elderly attention, and last improved their quality of life. These 3 results provide strong evidence that drama therapy is an effective and meaningful clinical intervention for improving psychological and cognitive outcomes in patients with dementia. And for the next article 3 and 4 will be presented by Rafa.
So for the article 3, the title is Study Effectivity of Drama Therapy Towards Students' Consciousness Building. So here we can conclude that the title will explore drama therapy, the use of drama therapy in educational settings. And in this case it was conducted in school. And the author Cornelia Masarindasi, Upi Kurniawan, Eka Aryani, and Abdul Hadi, and it was published in 2023 and published by Universitas Mercu Buana Yogyakarta. And for the background of research, so basically, to summarize, there are many students that do not recognize bullying towards many students that does not recognize bullying behaviors, and in this case drama therapy with sociodrama technique is introduced to improve bullying awareness.
see the research gap. There's a gap on how there's limited research on using drama therapy to directly improve students' understanding of bullying and its consequences. And for the method that was used is they use a quantitative research with a quasi-experimental design using a non-equivalent control group which consists of 72 students, and the experimental class received drama therapy while the group control did not. For the data collection, they use a validated bullying awareness questionnaire with 50 items that use Likert scale in pre and post test, and also the sampling was purposive. And for the data analysis, the Wilcoxon sign rank test was used to compare pre and post test scores, and also the reliability of the instrument was high. And we can conclude here the finding is that experimental group awareness improved significantly. So the average mean score rose from 103 to roughly 111, and also control group had minor improvement, and thus drama therapy effectively increased students' bullying awareness. Move on to the article 4. The title is Strong Kids Effect of Drama Therapy on Child Resilience After the German Flu Disaster. So we can conclude that this drama therapy was used on to people with a traumatic past. The author is Sabine Sipcoach, Sarah Stange, Natalie Ernst, Julie Kinnan, Manuela Uhart, Harald Gruber, Maren Schluter, Ulrich Schwab, Deribau Pierre, Benina Merchmeyer, Simon Klees, and Johannes Juncker and Hennikus. And it was published in this year 2025, and it was published by The Arts in Psychotherapy, Elsevier Limited. So the background of the study is actually the flu disaster, the 2021 flu disaster in Achtal, Germany, where children were at risk at psychological distress. And also the study explored drama therapy as a resilience building intervention for affected children. And the research gap is previously there is few evidence-based studies explore non-verbal arts-based trauma support like drama therapy in large-scale natural disaster contexts with children, especially with children. And the method is using a quantitative research with a model within subject repeated measures design involving 238 children age range from 3 until 11. And also the drama therapy workshop were conducted over 5 days, and it was focused on resilience and self-expression. For the data collection, the educators rate each child using the model of 10-item child resilience scale, or you could shorten it as CRS, at 5 time points. And the data analysis, repeated measures ANOVA and t-tests were used to assess resilience changes. Missing data were handled with regression imputation, effect size, and moderators were examined. And finally, the findings is that resilience significantly increased after the drama therapy, with the strongest effect among children with prior social behavioral problems or low SES. And the control group showed no improvement, and indicators rated the program as effective and acceptable. So I think that is all for the article 4. I'm going to pass it to article 5. I would pass it to Anastasius.
Okay, thank you, Rafa. Let's go to the next article. The title of this article is Drama Therapy in Virtual Reality, a study on session design and empathy improvement. So the author, you can see the article, the name of the author, and the publisher is the CEUR Workshop Proceedings, and the year is 20 and 24, the year of publishing. And the background of this article is lifestyles and values are diversifying, impacting social interactions and the perception of social identity and community. Many people experience anxiety and stress related to understanding others. Drama therapy is a group psychotherapy method using improvisation to improve social interaction. However, it faces limitations such as therapist shortages, embarrassment about acting, and venue restrictions. And the gap of this research is the research addressed the limitation of traditional drama therapy by developing XR-based drama therapy or XRDT, utilizing an AI therapies in virtual reality spaces. And the method of this research is the researchers examined the content of XRDT sessions conducted in a self-created world within VR chat. They then perform content analysis on questionnaires and interviews collected from participants. And the finding of this article is observe an improvement in cognitive empathy among participants, indicated by a softening of their own ideas through considering others. The finding demonstrated the effectiveness of the XRDT session. And the next article is the title is Perceived Effects of Drama Therapy in People Diagnosed with Personality Disorders, a qualitative study. The author is Emilia de Gruyter, Hans Wouters, and Suzanne Hayem. The publisher Elsevier, and the year of publishing is 20 and 24. And this is the background of this article. The personality disorder or PD are characterized by persistent and rigid patterns of cognition, emotion, interpersonal functions, and or deficient impulse control, leading to significant distress and disability. Drama therapy is aimed at promoting emotion regulation and strengthening of interpersonal skills. And the gap of this research is the added value of drama therapy has not been sufficiently examined, and available studies only provide indirect client reports. There is a lack of direct insight into what clients with personal disorders experience as effects of drama therapy. And the method is a qualitative study following the grounded theory approach or GTA was conducted, utilizing in-depth semi-construct interview in a natural drama therapy context. Interviews were held with 19 people diagnosed with personality disorders, purposefully sampled from five treatment centers. Data analysis involved a three-step approach: open, axial, and selective coding. And the findings of this article is the study identified 5 overarching themes, allowing playfulness and its inherent benefits, connecting the inner and outer emotional world, understanding maladaptive coping styles, and intrapersonal and interpersonal behavior change. Participants reported that drama therapy provided valuable experience and insights, contributing to their daily life. So that's the last article from us, and
I think we can end our presentation for today. And I hope we all receive something meaningful, something insightful about how drama therapy is actually very, very strong media for people who need something to release, something to relieve. For example, stress, for example, people with trauma, cognitive issues, social aspect that unfulfilled social aspect, and we hope that drama therapy is also in Indonesia itself could be more rose, could be immersed more, like many experts, many articles, many performance, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's all from our presentation. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Wassalamualaikum.
And no.
Any addition?
Yeah. And if you have question, you can comment in the
Comment on the text below. On the comment section below.
section below.
Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
All right.